Hello. Okay, so I wanted to just come on today and chat with you. So, as I said in the description, if you are someone who is wanting to live your life authentically, as your true authentic self in your full expression, this is something you definitely need to watch because for me, I started on this journey at the time of recording this video about 9 years ago. Oh, hey, Michael. I started on this journey about 9 years ago, but I've realized that, like very recently, actually, that this journey that I've been on, it's actually not something that's coincidence. It's not something that even started 9 years ago. Where I am right now in my life is somewhere that I've been destined to be pretty much my entire life. And I think that many of you right now, this is recording this on May 7th, 2025. So if you're watching it in the future, sorry, I'm also seeing my videos a little blurry, so apologies for that. But, I'm for those of you, watching in May of 2025, or maybe can reflect back and remember this time frame. The last few months, I know so many people who have really been experiencing some wild shifts in their lives. Some really good, some not as good, but all of them required them to go through different challenges. And my life has been no different. I think that I know there's a shift, energetic shift, honestly, in our universe, that a cosmic shift that has taken place that really is sped things up for many of us and brought so many things to the surface and brought so much clarity, so that those of us that are here we all are here on earth with a purpose, but those of us that are here right now that are part of this mission to bring us back to our authenticity, to our humanity, to being able to be in our fullness, our full expression. As I work mostly with women, but not just as women, but as humans. It's insane. So I've been experiencing this myself, and so many of my clients have as well. And something I recently realized was that this is not a new thing. Like I've become more clear recently on my purpose, my own divinity, I guess you could say, even, and what it is that I'm here to do. But I have recently been looking through some old memorabilia boxes that my parents, when they sold their house a few years ago, had given us, and kind of set them aside in the garage. And I was looking recently for some photos for a friend of mine whose father had recently passed away, and she was my oldest friend and have known her since, I don't even know how long, like since I was like a toddler, I think. And then I was looking for some other pictures of a friend who had recently passed away. Shortly before she had passed away, I was looking for those photos. So when I was in there, I found a couple things that I don't know, it's just kind of insane. So anyway, I was looking back at this memorabilia, and I found a bunch of old pieces of writing, which again reminded me just how much I am here to write, to share, to communicate with the world, but really bring us back to our authenticity, our authentic expression. And so I just wanted to share with you a couple things that I found recently. And one of them was a letter. So this letter was, I believe, from when I was 18 years old. And I'm not going to read the whole thing. And I also want to just preface by saying my parents weren't necessarily fully in the wrong here, but I'll explain that. So it started out, I'll read the beginning part. Dear Mom and Dad, to start with, I love you to death, and I know that you love me too. And I believe this is why you have such a hard time giving me my freedom. Like back then. So this was 18 years old. I'm now 46 years old. But I said, blah, blah, blah. blah, blah, blah. I need to be able to make my own choices and decisions. You always say that you haven't prepared me for the future, for college, for living on my own. But I think the time is now. So I was like begging for my freedom back at 18. And it goes on and it goes into more detail. And again, I will say my parents, great people. I did have a not so great boyfriend at the time. So I may have not been asking for the freedom for the wrong reason, or for the right reason. However, it was happening back then. But then rewind even further and go to when I was 13 years old. So I found this little, I'm going to show you this one because it's super cute. I found this old, I don't even know what you call it, report project that I did when I was 13 in 8th grade. And it was all about like, who am I? So it was talking about the present, like, who am I, like showing some of my likes, but then my future, the things that I want for my future, and also my philosophies on how I see the world. Okay. And when I read some of them, it's going to be insane, but I'll show you this. So it was, who am I? And that is little Lori right there. Super cute, right? So anyway, I open this, and in my prologue, I will read this part to you. So I'm a 13-year-old 8th grader. I'm a female, and I have brown hair, blue eyes, and I'm about 5'6". Okay, so I'm like describing literally who am I. And my book is divided into 3 chapters: fun, philosophy, and future. So I'm going to just fast forward a little bit. So the second chapter will explain my philosophy for life. I'll explain how I feel things ought to be. For example, that's so funny. The quote, if you're always looking at someone else trying to imitate them, how can your natural gifts ever emerge? Describes how I feel. I wrote that at 13 years old. That's literally what my whole business is based on now at 46. And that to me just like blew my mind when I read that. And then the third chapter will portray my many goals for the future: money, success, and happiness. Those haven't changed. I still, I want money for different reasons probably than what I did at 13, but it hasn't changed at all. And just like kind of going forward to that philosophy, I'm going to read you another quote here. And that is, it's a happy man or a happy woman who helps the world the most. So coming back to the authenticity, and if you want to look at the future too, the future goals, future job, thought I was going to be a psychiatrist or a pediatrician. Maybe I'm a combination of both now a little bit, but it was all travel, all the different places, which I have traveled to many of them, but there's still some on here that I haven't made it to. So definitely adding those to the bucket list. But it's so funny, isn't it? Who am I at 13 years old really hasn't changed that much from who I am right now. At 46 years old, because the thing is who you are at your core. It's not a new thing. You were brought here with a purpose. All of us were born into this world. I truly believe this, with a purpose. And for many of us, it takes lots of trial and error and personal growth and a journey to really get to the core of what that is. And actually, when I got into coaching, my first certification was as a life purpose coach. And I don't know why I was drawn to that, but I was. And so many people used to ask me, or used to say, you're just so brave. I can't believe, you quit your job, you moved to the Caribbean, you did all of these things. And I want to do that too. And all I've ever wanted is to just live my life authentically and to help other people do that. And your authenticity, you being all of you being in your truest expression, your fullness. It isn't about making money. It isn't about finding the thing that's going to make you money or make you successful. Money is not happiness. Success isn't about just making money. It's about you being in your authentic expression as who you were here to be, who you're designed to be, who you're here to live in this world as. And if you're denying that And some of us, it takes a long time to find that in yourself, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you deny it, once you start to get that feeling and it comes back to you consciously in your adult life, you will not be able to give it up. You won't be able to ignore it. And it's your, I believe it is your duty, as a human to yourself, but all of humanity too, to really explore what that purpose is and what it is that you're called here to do. So like I said, if you know that going back to the title of this, if you are somebody who just knows that you're here to live life differently, that you're not meant to fit into somebody else's box, that you're not here to live according to someone else, that you are here to be a happy man or happy woman that changes the world, and to live in your truest expression and to be your authentic self, leave a comment, let me know, send a message. But just remember, at your core, like, there is someone inside there who knows who he or she or you are meant to be. So don't forget that, and stay tuned for more of these in the future. Talk to y'all soon.